using what he got to shield him. He got a lot of security guards around him, and he's in the limelight and stuff like that. But in certain situations, he wouldn't be acting like that.
Do you like him as a fighter though?
Yeah, he's a damn good fighter.
Yeah.
But like his core personality and his way.
If the opportunity presented itself against Floyd, you wouldn't, though, even though you admire him so much and he's so great.
Floyd, yeah, because
Terence Crawford has finally responded to Floyd Mayweather's demand for a 2026 fight, and his reaction was positive, confirming that he is willing to settle the long-running debate over who is the greater fighter. Mayweather may be over 10 years older, but he initiated the challenge after growing frustrated with constant comparisons between himself and Crawford.
Everybody plays a part.
Canelo said he's way better than Mayweather. What do you think to that?
Who, Terence?
Yeah.
Oh, of course. Of course he is.
What do you want to see?
In a post-fight interview after his recent victory, Crawford was asked about fans wanting him to fight Floyd, especially now that Mayweather himself wants the matchup. Crawford said, "If Floyd wants to fight me, it's great money and an opportunity to face one of the greats. So I'm in."
like I am now.
How do you beat Floyd, though? Like, since nobody's been able to crack that code.
You think I would tell you?
He ain't fighting anymore. So that fight ain't gonna happen.
Mayweather was pushed into calling out Crawford not only because fans demanded it, but also because two of his former opponents publicly said Crawford might be better than him. To the boxing legend, this felt like a major insult to his accomplishments. Beyond Canelo, Shane Mosley, who lost to Mayweather on points 15 years ago, also repeated the same opinion.
When I looked at it, he came out in the southpaw stance and he took Canelo's jab away from him. As you know, if you take a fighter's jab away from them, then it's hard for them to really land. You force them to use one shot, and he forced them to use his backhand, his rear hand. Crawford was ready for the looping of the right hands.
Speaking to Fight Hub TV, Mosley boldly claimed that Bud Crawford is actually better than Mayweather, though he still praised his former rival as extremely talented. "I think Crawford is better, bigger. He keeps moving up in weight, and I would say Crawford is the better all-around fighter. Mayweather is great too. Very talented. It would have been a tough fight, but Crawford would have the edge because of his long arms and size."
Who do you think's better out of those two? Crawford or Mayweather?
I think Crawford is better, bigger. Like he's actually he moved in weight class, and I would say Crawford is a better fight all around fighter.
Fans and boxing experts worldwide have already begun debating whether Bud Crawford can now be considered the greatest fighter of all time after defeating Canelo, a historic win that put the 37-year-old back on top of the pound-for-pound rankings. Canelo, both before the fight and especially after losing, repeated that Crawford was the better fighter. At the post-fight press conference, Canelo said, "I think Crawford is way better than Floyd Mayweather."
If you can, compare and contrast the fight between yourself and Floyd Mayweather Jr. and tonight's bout with Terence Bud Crawford, if you can.
No, I think Crawford is way better than Floyd Mayweather.
This statement carries significant weight since it came from someone who has faced both Crawford and Floyd Mayweather. Canelo's willingness to say this right after losing shows either strong sportsmanship or a genuine belief in Crawford's superiority. His comments sparked immediate controversy. Crawford later explained on the Ariel Helwani show, "Canelo has been in the ring with both of us. People can say what they want, but he's actually experienced both."
You know, how did that feel to hear that from someone like him?
I just was like, well, you know, it's his personal opinion. He was in the ring with both of us, so a lot of people, you know, they can say what they want, but he's actually been in the ring with both of us. You know, one where he felt like he was at the best.
Was ready for the body shots. You know, occasionally the straight right hand to the body would land for Canelo, but you know, sooner or later Crawford started getting out of the way of that as well by just pivoting, you know, on the angle and you know, making Canelo reach. There were spots inside the ring that I saw Crawford, you know, try to count.
In the end, the debate over who is greater will continue because it is subjective. What is objective is that both fighters are undefeated champions, at least for now in Crawford's case, and both dominated multiple divisions. However, there is an important debate regarding how each built their undefeated records. This is something active boxer Ryan Garcia highlighted on Ring Magazine's Inside the Ring show.
Yes, you know, and another where he felt like he was at a disadvantage when he had a rehydration clause and he was younger. So, you know, I don't know, you know, I don't go off of that. You know, Floyd is the best fighter, you know, in his era, and I feel like
the discussion began after Max Kellerman argued that Manny Pacquiao should rank above Mayweather on a pound-for-pound list of the best fighters of the century. Ryan Garcia responded by referencing comments from former NFL player LaShawn McCoy, who said, "Nobody changed the game like Floyd Mayweather, in a bad way." Garcia added, "Mayweather mastered the art of knowing when to fight someone and when not to. He never fought anyone in their prime after junior lightweight. Everyone now tries to protect their zero."
Change the game like Floyd Mayweather.
He mastered the art of knowing when to fight somebody and when not to fight somebody. I mean, that he's the best in that game. He's the best in, you know, making money and making all the, you know, the huge fights happen. But why? Because he was timing every single one of them. He never fought nobody really in their prime. He always
after junior lightweight. Junior lightweight.
He changed the game in the worst way possible. You're right. Everybody's trying to protect their own. I had
a lot of the stuff that Canelo was doing, and you know, that I would say this, that work from Boots helped in that aspect because Canelo was reacting to a lot of the counters that Crawford was throwing. Usually in the past, you know, Canelo would stand right there. He would lunge and he would stay in place, keep his feet in place. However,
Crawford's recent success has caused many to question the traditional rankings. Max Kellerman, on Inside the Ring, explained that although Mayweather has advantages, including defensive skills, speed, and a deeper resume, Crawford's mentality and willingness to fight anyone stand out.
It's wild, because like if you look at Floyd's resume, it's much deeper than Crawford's. And Floyd was faster and he had a better defense and all that stuff. But Floyd picked and chose when he fought guys, especially once he left lightweight. He wiped out the junior lights, bring him. Lightweight, he jumps up to Jose Luis Castillo first thing. A lot of people think he lost the first fight.
Kellerman pointed out that Mayweather became more selective with opponents after the lightweight division, strategically timing his biggest fights. Although this helped him remain undefeated, it raised questions about whether he fought everyone in their prime. Crawford, meanwhile, has consistently shown a desire to face any top contender throughout his career.
Then he won the rematch. But once he left lightweight, he was careful about when he fought guys. So even though his resume is deeper with names, people remember, yeah, but he didn't want it with certain dudes at certain times. Crawford, we all witnessed, even though the resume is thin in certain ways, he wanted it with everyone.
Kellerman said, Floyd's resume is deeper, and he was faster with better defense. But once he left lightweight, he was careful about who he fought. Crawford, even though his resume is thin in places, wanted to fight everyone. That matters to people. He also compared the respect Crawford receives to legends like Sugar Ray Robinson and Roy Jones Jr.
We've had a lot of comparisons between Terence Crawford and Floyd Mayweather. We even had the conversation going as far as who wins in a fight between Terence and Floyd. And I truly don't know the answer to that question.
I do.
You do?
Yes.
Yeah. Who will win that fight?
Floyd. Yes, sir. I love you, Terrence.
Always figures it out.
Yeah,
Even though fans constantly compare Crawford to Floyd, Bud refuses to take away Floyd's rightful credit. When asked about the similarities between them, Crawford praised him, saying, "He's the king," acknowledging Mayweather's greatness. Crawford continued, "We have a lot in common, but we're different because I take more chances." Early in his career, Floyd took many chances too. Pretty Boy Floyd was a seek and destroy fighter. Then he had hand injuries and moved up in weight, so he couldn't fight the same way.
Chances, you know, right now, but earlier in his career, he was taking a lot of chances as well. So, you know, it just depends on which Floyd Mayweather you talk about. If you talk about money or do you talk about Pretty Boy? Because Pretty Boy was the seek and destroy fighter.
As Crawford said, they share similarities, but fans still compare them to decide who is the better fighter. A recent source even picked Crawford as the likely winner in a matchup between the two. In terms of pure boxing ability, it's difficult to find someone better than Floyd. His jab, precision, timing, and counterpunching allowed him to outclass opponents in both versions of his career.
He's gonna reach from the left cross again. There's a lightning hand speed extraordinary. Left hook drops him, and then he hit his head off the mass here at the end.
Pretty boy Floyd was aggressive and came forward, while Money Mayweather became a master boxer who outsmarted opponents. Both versions helped build the legend of Floyd Mayweather. Meanwhile, fans are still stunned by what Crawford did to Errol Spence Jr. in their fight.
He drops it again. That's a hard knockdown that time with the left hook. How about that? Keeps battling, falling forward. Uppercut. Terence Crawford has stopped Yuriakis.
Crawford's power jab, ability to punch in traffic, and counterpunch timing against Spence displayed elite boxing skills. And it wasn't the first time, but never before against someone as strong as Spence. When discussing pure boxing ability, Mayweather shouldn't be dismissed, but Crawford's explosive, effective style keeps the debate close. Many consider this category a draw. Mayweather often lured opponents into the center of the ring, analyzed their movements, and downloaded their patterns before dominating them. His ring IQ and hit and not get hit approach carried him to a Hall of Fame, undefeated career. Crawford, becoming undisputed in multiple divisions, has shown similarly high ring IQ.
We've had a lot of comparisons between Terence Crawford and we've even had the conversation to go as far as who wins in a fight between Terence and Floyd. I truly don't know the answer to that.
I do.
You do?
Yes.
Yeah. Who would win that fight?
Floyd. Yes, sir. I love you, Terence.
Always figures it out.
Yeah, he
Mayweather had excellent hand speed, especially with counters. But Crawford's sharp angles and snapping punches give him a speed edge. Of Mayweather's 50 wins, 27 came by knockout. Crawford has 31 knockouts and 40 wins, and he is still active. His domination of Spence, dropping him 3 times before the TKO, was another display of his power.
When you hook, you want to hook from the hips. So when you hook, boom, this toe gonna go up and this one gonna go down. So you hear and it's gonna go boom. So you can do a 45 or you can do straight. You come straight from the shoulders, boom. Open it up a little bit, bam. But there you go. So, yeah, so you want to come, everything you do, you want to come from the shoulders, boom. Just turn. When you coming in there, you hear, boom. And that's where that torque gonna come from. The hips, your legs, all the way up in there.
Breaking down a powerful, body-punching fighter like Spence, who dismantled Kell Brook, Sean Porter, and Dennis Ugas, was no easy task, yet Crawford made it look simple. Mayweather's defensive mastery, including the Philly shell and shoulder roll, remains unmatched. Crawford is slick too, but Floyd elevated defense to near perfection.
He's a talented fighter, and that challenge for him pushed him even harder to train harder and to be better. That challenge, went up against Canelo, moving up 2 divisions, hearing that people are saying, oh, he didn't look too good against Madrimov, so how could he look good at 68? Well, that motivated more, man. He trained hard. He did what.
In a dream matchup, how would Crawford versus a prime Mayweather unfold? The first round would be a feeling out process. Crawford would likely be more active early, landing shots even if many were blocked by Mayweather's shoulder and elbow. By the middle rounds, Floyd would find his rhythm, using jabs to win rounds.
Look at this defense, unbelievable. Young boxing fans that are watching Floyd Mayweather, you've seen one of the greatest defensive fighter of all time. I mean, that's how strong. If you're wearing, then he's nowhere. You think you. And again, it's not just hand quickness; it's the movement of the head, the way he rolls with punches. Look at the way he makes them miss. I mean, here we go. Do a series of punches, and nothing really landed. The rapid fighter for Mayweather. Oh.
However, Crawford's pressure and power could break through and hurt Mayweather at times. In a close fight, judges might reward Crawford for his activity and aggression, giving him a narrow points victory. After Crawford's career-defining win over Canelo, fans refused to let the debates about his greatness fade.
Where does Canelo go from here, Henry?
He needs to rematch. If I'm Canelo, I want to rematch Terence Crawford. He got schooled, bro. He got outboxed by Terence Crawford. And I know that he's itching to get that one back. The first time he fought Triple G, he came back the second time, and he legit beat Triple G.
Once in a lifetime fight. It doesn't need to be a rematch. I think Bud would do worse the next fight.
Some believed the Crawford-Canelo fight would determine the best boxer of the post-Mayweather and Pacquiao era. Crawford made history by becoming the 6th male fighter to win titles in 5 divisions and the first in the 4-belt era to become undisputed in 3. This win boosted both his financial status and his legacy.
Work on what you need to work on, put your head down and grind, you get results like this.
I noticed that when I was watching the fight that Terence Crawford specifically, whichever side that Canelo threw at him, Terence would respond with a shot from that side as well. Did you see that in the tape that you watched of Canelo as a weakness, where he was vulnerable to shots at the same side that he threw?
Well, if you go back and look at the fight, you can hear us in the corner saying, when he go wide, you go.
When asked whether he has surpassed Mayweather, Crawford dismissed the idea. Floyd was the greatest of his era, and I'm the greatest of mine. There's no need to compare. But minutes later, Canelo was asked who was better, considering he lost to Mayweather at 23.
On Canelo a little worse than that, because that style of fight, I don't think he beats someone like Terence Crawford. But if I'm Terence Crawford, of course I'll fight him again. But this time, I'm the A side. I think Terence Crawford is going to be more confident next time, knowing that I can punch with this guy. I can take his shot. I'm faster.
He fought Canelo Alvarez.
Yeah.
He didn't do what the last two did, just run.
Canelo said, Crawford deserves all the credit. I tried my best but couldn't solve his style. I think Crawford is way better than Floyd Mayweather. Until the real fight happens, this debate will continue. For more updates, news, and moments in the boxing world, make sure to subscribe and turn on notifications so you never miss new content.